Education is one of the most important aspects that needs attention, especially in our country, Indonesia. Educational systems must be customized and suitable for users, the students. Start from the simplest thing like the way of teaching until the curriculum they are getting, including the tuition fees of college. Recently, there happens about the rising of tuition fees for colleges, like General Student Among University until Indonesia University. This case is very detrimental for all parties, such as students, parents, governments, etc. Here, we as a proposition team regrets the rise of university tuition fees in Indonesia. And here I will talk about a few things. The first is why we regret the purpose of the college and what will the world be if there is no rising of the tuition fees and the solution for this. Before I'm going any further, let me define the motion first. University means college. It is a place to study with a higher level than high school and various majors that students can choose. Tuition fees means the expenses or funding that someone has to spend on something. And as the whole definition, the whole definition of the motion means we regret the rise of expenses someone has to spend for going to college. As we all know that college is a place to study. Other than study, some people enter college to get their requirements to apply a job. Especially, we live in a society where fresh graduate is the standard. But many people can't go to college due to some reasons. Perhaps they're having a financial problem or internal family problems, etc. And in this case, we're talking about the tuition fees problems. We as the proposition team truly regrets this case. Here we have a few reasons on why we regret this. First is dreams that can be reached. As college students, we're going to college not for nothing. They have dreams to achieve. The step to reach their dream is by going to college. If the students can go to college and due to the rising of the tuition fees, then how can they achieve their dreams? For example, there is a case where a girl that can't go to college due to the tuition fees of the college. Imagine that's just the stable tuition fees. And what about now, where the tuition fees are rising high? And in the end, she's just doing work. They just helping her mother to go to market and etc. As for the solution, we can ask the government or other parties to make perhaps a scholarships to help her or people like her to go to college. And we as a proposition team, once again, regrets the rise of university tuition fees in Indonesia. And my second point is the government's target unreachable. Everyone must have heard about Indonesia Emas 2045. If the tuition fees are rising and impacting every parties, there will be no students going to college or even stopped going to college. How can we reach that target? For example, this will impacting a backward of students in Indonesia. For example, we can see the society right now where the rising of the tuition fees are impacting every parties. Then how can we reach the government's target about Indonesia Emas 2045? Okay, and see, we once again as the proposition team regrets the rising of the tuition fees, the rising of university tuition fees in Indonesia. Furthermore, now what if there's no rising tuition fees? Even with the stable tuition fees, there are still people that can't go to college. There will be, and here we have a few arguments. The first is there will be more students that are going to college, and by going to college, they can achieve both their dreams and both the government's target to reach Indonesia Emas 2045. And as the final solution, we must have the government's role to make regulation or even policy regarding this case. Perhaps they can make a regulation about to lowering the tuition fees they're having for every universities, whether the government's university or a private universities. And then the last solution is universities must provide scholarships for every student. for every class students, start from the lower class, middle class, and even the higher class. But we must, with some limitation and boundaries, there must be prioritizing the lower class and middle class, of course. And we can conclude, as a conclusion, education is one of the most important aspects that needs attention. Must be suitable and customized with the students. And if the rising of university tuitions is happening in Indonesia, it will impacting every parties, from the students, parents, governments, etc., which will make more students that can go to college, and more people can reach their dreams. Even the governments can reach their target. And that's all. We as the proposition team regrets the rise of university tuition fees. And here I have a few reasons on why the proposition team should win. The first reason is all of the data and information we are using are valid. There's no fake data or lie in arguments we have. So whether from both personal experience or even data we're having from the internet, news, etc. And then so we can once again, we as the proposition teams regrets the rise of university tuition fees in Indonesia as college students.